What's going on, everybody? It's Ryan here. Today, I thought I'd talk a little bit about Jordan Peterson. Been watching a lot of his videos lately, and it's been pretty interesting. And if you're watching this video, maybe you watch some of his videos or listen to some of his lectures too. Been learning about the big five character traits. They are extrovert, agreeableness, conscientiousness. What are the other two? I can't remember the other two. Neuroticism. What is the last one? What I do know is I score incredibly low in agreeableness, which means I'm a highly disagreeable person. That's what's consistent. I'm on the low side of extroversion, but not super low, right? Because I do like, I guess, I mean, I always fight with this because my comfort zone really is to sort of stay not around people I don't know, or I just don't like. I do like meeting people, but I don't, right? Maybe it's that fear, maybe it's that introversion tendency, that low extroversion tendency. I don't know. But a lot of why I've been listening to him is a lot to do with the fact that, I'm trying to understand my family better, my kids, I'm trying to understand myself better. And that's kind of one of the best things I get out of Jordan Peterson is just I get to learn a lot about just kind of, I know he gets a lot of criticism, which is kind of weird because when I hear him talk and I hear him speak, it's pretty clear thinking. I don't know, maybe because he's male, maybe because some of his thoughts are maybe unpopular on the left side, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's too conservative. I'm not even sure what it is, but to me, it just sounds like incredibly strong logic with really good reasoning. And when anyone talks with high levels of reasoning and like logic, it just sort of, I don't know, it just makes sense to me because I kind of always assume that people are always out for themselves. Right? And if people are out for themselves, meaning that full self-interest, they don't care about anybody else, only themselves, because that's how I believe. Like when you're low and disagree, if your agreeableness is very, very low, it means that you're incredibly, not really self-centered, but you are definitely kind of for yourself only, which I don't know how that's any different than self-centeredness, but I assume other people are the same. Like I think game theory. I think that you are going to make the best move for you, and I'm going to make the best move for me, and you're going to make the best move for you, and I can only expect that. But the thing I like about it and understanding is because now that I know this thing about myself, it's kind of cool because now I'm like, okay, now I know why I'm considered a complete asshole sometimes, or I come across the way I do. It's because I'm like that. That's just my nature. It does, and knowing that tells me that because I'm already disagreeable or I'm very low in agreeableness, it means that I need to learn to be more agreeable. I need to learn to be more balanced. Because in lots of ways, because I'm so much on the side of being low agreeableness, that means I will fight for what's mine or what I think is mine or what I feel is mine. I'll put my foot down. I'll draw a line in the sand, or so to speak. I need to be less like that. I need to be a little bit softer. I need to be a little bit more agreeable to be a little more balanced. However, being disagreeable, because I can be so polarizing in that way, what ends up happening is sort of, I rub a lot of people the wrong way, but I also rub people the right way. And what I mean by that, get your head out of the gutter, is that I can be sometimes a breath of fresh air to people because I just sort of say what's on my mind. I just don't beat around the bush and BS people most of the time. And even when I try to make a video or I try to make content, I try to put forth that sort of like kind of honesty, that truth, because I guess what frustrates me the most about people and life and the way I kind of view the world is that people just are not honest. They don't say what's on their mind. You have to guess a lot of the time. And it turns out that's how the world works. I thought that, you're just honest and truthful and you just say what's truth. And you know what? You learn that that's not how the world works. People don't say what's on their mind. People are polite. Like, that's the other thing too about my test is I have very low politeness. So because the cool thing about taking these tests is once I learned about this about myself, I took 2 tests just to confirm it too. Once I learned this about myself, what that means is I need to be less of it, or I need to be more aware of it so I don't overdo it, because my tendency is to be this way. And if you want to become a more balanced human being, actually I don't really even care about being a balanced human being. What I actually care about is being an effective human being. And in lots of ways, our strengths, the way that we behave, the way that we react, makes us unique. But there are times when we push extremes beyond what is effective, right? Because I am sort of I'm going to do what I'm going to say. I'm going to follow through with what I say because I am that kind of a person. I think sometimes, it's not to say that I won't follow through with what I say, but what I can do is I can say, hey, I can change my mind. That's an example. Like, I'm a person that sometimes will put my feet in the ground. I'll just dig my heels in, and I won't change my mind. And that can kind of cause issues because then I become very rigid. In some ways it's great because I stand for something, but in other ways it's bad because I don't get the effective result I want from people. But I'm just curious, do you yourself take these personality tests? I'm already forgetting what the 5th was. Neuroticism, agreeableness, extroversion, conscientiousness. And what is that last one? Okay, I found it. Here it is. It is the big 5. I just missed this here. It's openness. That's the thing I missed. Boom. And openness means your ability to be open, just what it sounds like. And what the bad thing about this is, something that I learned is also interesting, is if your neuroticism is high, having high openness is also bad. Can be bad because what happens is you're open to sort of new things, but because you're neurotic, meaning that you process negative emotion worse than others, right? That causing you to be neurotic, sort of paranoid, sort of feeds it, because that's how I am. It can make things even worse for sort of how you look at the world. And these are very useful things because now that when I find myself freaking out about something, I just go and say, wait a minute, I'm just being excessively neurotic, or I just need to tone it down. I think that our traits give us value, right? They do. They makes it unique for us, right? Because my agreeableness is low, my extroversion is on the low side, my conscientiousness is just about medium or a little bit in the high, not high, but medium, it says. But my openness is high, it's kind of high, and my neuroticism is very high. So if anything, the 2 things for me is this is pretty high and this is pretty low. Those are my extremes. And what I've found is that knowing these things allow me to sort of, I don't know, I feel like when you understand yourself better, like, I think that's all we're really looking for, is we're looking for a way to understand ourselves and in turn understand the rest of the world. Because often when someone does something dumb, or a partner or a friend or a family member does something that you don't like or you disagree with, you just go in your head like, I don't understand why you did that, right? And then when you start to kind of understand yourself more and you take time, I think you just end up becoming less pissed off, because in reality you can't, because they're just being themselves, you know. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. See you later.